How we doing today, Malachi?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good. Malachi, on Monday, Nick Saban picked Texas and Georgia to win the SEC and cited concerns in the secondary as reasons why he didn't have as much faith in Alabama. What was your reaction to that, being the senior-most member in the secondary?
Yeah, man, gotta love Coach Saban, man. Nah, but it's a cool opinion for him to have. You know, we just gonna take it one day at a time and keep on working.
Malachi, we're getting to know T-Rob over at Georgia. Just what would you tell Georgia's players about what they can expect in the work with them?
Yeah, T-Rod, he's a great coach. He's a person that really cares about his players. That's going to do everything he can for you and call him for anything. And a very knowledgeable person.
You got any favorite moments interacting with him?
Man, he a goofball. I'll tell you that one. We had a good time.
Malachi, I know a lot of pros using that to scout their future opponents. With the newest release of the college football game, do you plan on using that to scout future opponents?
Maybe. Hey, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna use it more to see like what I'm gonna wear in the game that week, so I can pick and see without actually having to put on all my accessories and stuff. So that's what I'm most excited about for the game.
Speaking of what you're wearing, can you tell us about the chain?
Yeah, it's a little Kai chain from the end of my name, Malachi, and I got little infinity stones, and it's a crown as the dot of the eye.
Malachi, was there a moment kind of early on when Kalen got to campus, Coach DeBoer, that you kind of realized, oh, okay, this is a new thing. Saban's not around anymore.
Yeah.
There's a different regime in there. Was there something maybe at early practice or?
I would say one of the first things that he mentioned to us was music at practice, and everybody's just like, what? But no, it's been fun. The music at practice has been fun. The early morning schedule, I like it. It gives me more time to get my treatment in after, and more time to do any extra work that I need to do.
What's the difference in their communication styles, Saban and DeBoer?
DeBoer, he's kind of more player led. He wants the players to take the leadership of the team, and that's what most successful teams have is player-led teams, and he kind of give us the leeway to lead the team as we see and come to him with any issues that we have.
Jumping off of that, I mean, you've obviously been in college football for several years. What are you trying to bring to this program just because of your experience and everything you've been through?
Well, our ultimate goal is to get a national championship. I think when you come to Alabama, that's the main thing that attracts you here is competing for a national championship each and every year. And that's the main thing I'm worried about. I'm going to bring passion and leadership to my team, and it's going to be a fun season.
How much have things changed at Alabama and in college football since you first got on campus?
It's changed a lot. I like to say that I'm a pre-NIL baby. So when I came in, it wasn't no NIL or anything like that. But I think it's great just seeing the game evolve and in different aspects on the field, off the field is great for college football.
Is there a difference in how NIL is handled right now with this coaching staff compared to the previous coaching staff?
I would say that it's always been their target to try to get more NIL for our players, and I think that's something that Coach Saban was going to start getting into more, but Coach DeBoer, he kind of can relate to us a little bit more. So,
Malachi,
yeah.
excuse me, Malachi.
You good?
Can you talk a little bit about your EA rating and all that? I mean, you might have already done
Yeah.
it. I'm sorry, I'm late.
Yeah, nah, you good. My EA rating, I got a 92 overall, and yeah, I'll take that. But I was just excited to see me and Jay Mill got the same speed, because he definitely not a 91 speed. I think EA need to go re-look at that.
Higher or lower?
Higher, way higher, way higher.
Beat him in the 40?
No.
How did you feel about Nick picking against you guys in the SEC championship?
It's all love, man. Coach got a job to do at the end of the day.
What have you thought about him so far on TV? Have you been able to watch much?
Yeah, he does a great job on TV. He looks a lot more relaxed. It's kind of crazy to see Coach Saban just so relaxed. He always got a smile on his face, but nah, that's good for him though.
How much have you seen of him the last 6 months? Has he kind of disappeared? He said he hadn't been in the football building, or have you seen a lot of him?
He hasn't been in the football building, but I went over to his office in the stadium and talked to him and chat with him, and I was at him at the Knicks kids golf tournament, and those really the only 2 times I've seen him. I've been kind of busy myself too.
What's
They
that
say
office look like?
He got a nice
it
size.
tricked out?
Yeah, he got a nice size office.
it's hard to replace a GOAT. How have you seen Coach DeBoer handle that kind of mantle that he's got?
Yeah, I would say Coach DeBoer's been doing a great job coming in. I told him the first night that he came into campus that I commend him for what he's doing and being man enough to step in behind Coach Saban and take on this job of a powerhouse of college football. It's not an easy thing to do, especially when you just led your previous team to a national championship. So to do that, it takes a lot of guts, and I have a lot of respect for him for
What was
doing
that
that.
moment like for you guys having a rally around and you coach the veterans on the team?
Yeah.
You know, did you guys speak about it maybe before Kalen got to campus or arrived? I know it all happened real quick.
Right.
But just keeping everything together in the way it is might be a good coaching staff. But
Right.
similar.
Our advice as leaders at the time was to just tell everybody, just give it a chance. Just give it a chance, see it through. Well, I knew that Greg Burns wouldn't lead us in any wrong direction when it came to picking a coach or anything of that nature. So I really wasn't concerned about who he was going to bring in. I knew he was going to bring in somebody who's ready to compete for a national championship now, somebody who's looking to continue Coach Saban's legacy, and somebody who's a winner. And Coach DeBoer is that, and everybody's mission is still the same at the end of the day.
You looking forward to traveling to Wisconsin?
Yeah,
First couple of weeks of September, you're going to be way up north. How
Right.
does that feel?
It's gonna be fun. I like traveling to new places to play. We haven't played at Wisconsin or Oklahoma, and I'm just looking forward to their fans bringing a rowdy environment.
A lot of players decided to leave Alabama after Coach Saban left. Why did you decide to stay?
It goes down to the love I have for this university, the love I have for my teammates, and I chose to come back for this university. I didn't choose to come back for any other university. And like I said earlier, just my relationship with Greg Burns, I knew that he wouldn't lead us in any wrong direction, and they was going to get a head coach that was ready to compete for a national championship now.
Speaking of that change, what's it been like under Coach Walmack in this offseason? Everybody knew it was Saban's defense, growing up, but
Basically,
over the past
yeah.
20 years, just kind of talk about the differences between Saban's defense and now Coach Walmack's defense.
I would say Coach Saban defense was very complex style of defense, from making checks to motions and different formations and different alignments of receivers. It was a very complex system to be in, and you had to be a very good communicator. You had to be very smart. In this defense now under Coach Womack, it's a lot of vision coverage, and it's a lot simpler from people who was in Coach Saban defense. A lot more eyes on the quarterback, allowing you to make plays on the ball and get more turnovers.
It'll be the first time for Coach DeBoer. Y'all talked about that game at all, and if so, what have you guys been talking about that?
No, we haven't really talked about the Iron Bowl, man. We're focused on if today is Wednesday like it is, we're focused on Wednesday. Tomorrow, Thursday, we focus on Thursday, and we're just getting ready for camp and have a great season.
Malachi, what's Kentucky getting in Christian Story, a guy you played with for a while on and off the field, and what was your relationship with him in the DB room?
Yeah, K-Story, he probably was one of my closest teammates. He came in with me as a DB in 20, and he was we've been through everything together, just hanging out off the field and on the field. But they're gonna get a competitor, somebody who loves to compete, somebody who's a playmaker. He's always around the ball, and somebody who loves football.
He waited a long time to get his first career start, having to come at Kentucky. Do you remember just his emotions going into that game and what it was like that week preparing?
He obviously was excited. Anybody is excited to go out there and start for the first time, and he was just taking it in and enjoying the moment.
What have you seen from Ryan Williams in practice?
Who?
Ryan Williams.
Ryan Williams. He's very mature for his age, and a lot of things that he's done in practice is shocking to see somebody his age do it at a high level. And I think one of the main things about him is that he has the ability, but he also has the brain to go with his ability. He's very smart and knowledgeable as a young freshman could be, and even a year behind age-wise. So he's definitely something I don't think I've ever seen when it comes to Alabama, and somebody skipping a grade and going to college and performing at the next level as he has done.
What about Jeremy? Go ahead, Chase.
Why you got a playing card on the hat, and why is it the King of Clubs?
I just got this made in this little thing that they got over there, but my Instagram name King Kai, so I kind of threw that on there for the King, and this is my first cowboy hat I've ever owned. So yeah, appreciate you.
Can I see some of your jewelry?
That's about the only thing I got though. You feel what I'm saying?
Malachi, what about Jeremy Renard? Does he bring something to the Alabama wide receiver room that hasn't been there the last few years?
Jerm definitely is a veteran player. He's a very knowledgeable player. He kind of reminds me of John Mechie when he was here. The way he run routes, the way he stems and kind of create the creativity inside of his routes. But he definitely been one of the leaders in the wide receiver room, and somebody who came from Coach DeBoer's team who can kind of help us know how Coach DeBoer operates and everything like that. But Jerry's been going to be great for us.
What's the biggest difference defending a Coach DeBoer offense versus what has been the Nick Saban and Alabama system in the past?
Yeah, Coach DeBoer offense is very complex. They're very complex in everything that they do, from motions to the concepts that they run, the gap schemes that they block on run plays, and it's going to do nothing but make us better defensively just seeing that each day in practice.
Malachi, what do you think about Coach Saban's prediction that it's going to be Texas and Georgia in the SEC championship game?
I think everybody has their right to their own opinion, and may the best man win.
Malachi, what did you see from Jake Pope when you guys got him?
Yeah, Jake Pope, he was a very hard worker, very smart, somebody who's gonna come to work and give it your all each and every day, and somebody who's gonna be there for his teammates.
Where does the defensive secondary need to improve?
I would say losing people like Kool-Aid and Terrion, definitely hard to replace those guys and the caliber that they played at. But I feel like really everywhere we can't be content or satisfied with where we're at and any aspects of where we are from now to the season, end of the season. We always have to keep being hungry and stay hungry, and know that the climb to the top of the mountain is going to be a tough one.
Where's your leadership been challenged, being one of the most veteran guys in that DB room?
I would say, just like you said, being one veteran in the DB room opposed to having like maybe 1, 2, or 3. So it's kind of been earlier on, I should say, it was a little harder just trying to bring everybody in from the corners to the safeties. But as the summer and the spring have went on, Devontae Smith, he's starting to lead, take more of a leadership role. Keon Sabb taking a leadership role. Damani Jackson, Xavier Brown. Those guys are kind of all coming together and taking that next step and being a leader. And being a leader on our team, we don't categorize it. If a freshman sees a fifth-year senior not doing what he's supposed to do, we give them the same liability to tell us to get right, like we would get on them and tell them to get right.
What kind of coaches going to Tiger Stadium this year? What are your thoughts?
Going to Tiger Stadium?
Yeah.
I love playing at Tiger Stadium, man. Any time playing a away game in the SEC is definitely big. You know, the crowd is always gonna come ready to roll. But it's a fun opportunity. It's gonna be a fun day.
What kind of years the LSU receiver is Texas getting in? Isaiah Bond, I'm sure you went up against him every time in practice.
Bond, he's a great player, man. Very, very fast, very elusive, very explosive, and yeah, when he was with us, he was a very dynamic player. So I pretty much think they're gonna get the same thing over there.
What's your biggest concerns going into the season?
Biggest concerns, I would say, we just have to focus on week 1, week 2, week 3. Be where our feet are. Don't get too far ahead of ourselves, and stay humble and hungry, and keep our head down, and keep working.
What kind of coach is A&M getting in Holman Wiggins?
Coach Wiggins, I had a good relationship with Coach Wigg, even though he was on the offensive side of the ball. But they're gonna get somebody who's always gonna push his players to be the best. You know, he's been around some great players from Jalen Waller, Devontae Smith, and the list goes on. But so he definitely knows what he's talking about. But yeah, he's a great coach.
Malachi, do you remember that first conversation you had with Coach DeBoer?
I do. He kind of pulled like the leadership at the time together in the room, and he kind of we sat for like an hour 30, and I think he got there at like 9 o'clock at night. So it was almost 11 o'clock when we got done meeting. But he just wanted to get everything done, from traditions, what the traditions here, what are things y'all like, don't like. He really just wanted our opinion on stuff and how things were ran.
Were you sold after that? Were you like debating whether or not to enter the transfer portal? Did that like sell you on being able to stay at Alabama?
I knew that I was gonna have respect for whoever stood up and took the job after Coach Saban. And I told Coach DeBoer that when he first got here, how much respect I have for him, just coming in behind the greatest football coach of all time and leaving a team that just went to a national championship and coming here and taking on the job of continuing the Bama legacy. And that takes a lot of guts, and it says a lot about him as a man.
Around that time, you, Jalen, and Tyler all came out publicly, said we're staying, tried to hold the locker room together. Y'all did that individually, but did y'all get in a room together and say we got to try to hold it together as a three, the three together?
Yeah, we did something of that nature. Kind of when it happened, we kind of just called the team back together and just told everybody don't make any rash decisions. Let's give it 72 hours, like Greg Burns says. And I knew and I trusted in Greg Burns for him to go out there and get us the best coach possible and a coach that's going to compete for a national championship.
What's Auburn getting in Antonio Guyton? How would you describe him as a player?
Spoo, he's definitely a very electrifying player when it comes to the things he's done, and that I've seen at practice. It's just so crazy to think that he just started playing football a couple years ago. But somebody who's going to go out there and compete, and somebody who's going to give it their all.
I think you got a bunch of guys transfer, but when you see someone transfer to Auburn, what was that like mentally to see crossing that line?
Yeah, man, Spoo my brother at the end of the day, so I wish him the best, and I hope he snaps on everybody but the last game on their schedule and our schedule.
Jalen was saying a few minutes ago that South Florida, that game was kind of a turning point for you all. Do you kind of agree with that? What did you learn from that experience?
It definitely was a turning point. We just had to lock in and really be real with ourselves about what we wanted to accomplish in the season, and the way we was going about our business in the Texas game and the South Florida game, that wasn't the standard to where Alabama football needed to be played at, and we addressed those issues, and we went on a little run after the South Florida game. Yeah.
What have y'all thought about the move to morning practice?
The move to morning practice, I actually like it. It's giving us the opportunity to get up in the morning, get our work in, and have more time to get treatment and get any extra work in that you have.
Do you think most of the team feels that way, liking the morning practice?
Yeah.
Is it cooler?
Yeah, it I say it is, but it still does get pretty hot out there.
What inspired the swagger here today?
You say what?
What inspired the swagger here today?
Yeah, just a little hat, man. I got some little shoes to match my chain and a little green suit. Nothing too much.
Where's the toughest place you've played in the SEC?
Toughest place I've played, I'm gonna be real. It's kind of hard to say. Everywhere we go, especially in the SEC, is rocking. I don't think I've been to an SEC game that wasn't rocking. So really any of them. So any SEC game that we have, I expect it to be rocking and noisy. And anytime somebody's playing Alabama, they're always gonna bring their all, their team and their fans.
Malachi, I was talking to Tyler over there, and he said you and him and Jam Miller recently went on a trip to Destin on Jam. What is he like as a friend off the field, but on the field? What have you seen from him heading into the season?
Yeah, Jam is kind of like a lead by example type of person. He really doesn't say much. He's almost like a silent assassin, but he leads by example, and you see how hard he works and what he brings to the table, and he's very knowledgeable, and he's played a lot of football for us.
Obviously, Coach Saban made a comment about secondary possibly an area of concern.
Right.
What were your thoughts on that as a former
player? Yeah, as a former player, it's a little different seeing Coach Saban on the media side, but he just being honest, losing Kool-Aid and Terrion, two great corners, 2 first-round corners in my opinion. It's always going to be hard to replace that type of talent, but Damani Jackson, Xavier Brown, Jalen Bakwe, Zay Mincy, Deshaun Jones, everybody just coming in, putting their head down, going to work each and every day. And I'm really liking the progress I'm seeing with that group.
What's the excitement level of Oklahoma, Texas, SEC, and how excited for y'all about going home and winning
One more time.
What's the excitement level about Oklahoma and Texas joining the SEC, and just how excited are y'all about going to Norman late in the season?
Oklahoma and Texas joining the SEC, I think is great, man. I think the SEC is the best conference in college football. It's where you come to get the best competition, and going to Norman is definitely going to be fun. As I just said, going to any SEC road game is always going to be fun, especially when you're Alabama. Everybody is out to get you.
Thank y'all.
Yeah.